In a low vibration, well, I'm going to be going over what I personally do to raise my vibration when it's in a low place. Because how you vibe is what's going to come to you. Wherever your vibration is what you're going to attract in your life. And if you are constantly being put or allowing yourself to go into a low vibe consistently, that's what you're actually going to get. And so it helps to know how to raise your vibration to a certain place when you notice it's in a lower place in order to make sure you're attracting the things you want, feeling good throughout the day, among other things. That's coming up next. Hi there, my name is Dave, and this is HeartSpace, where we are releasing videos every single day from my heart to yours to help you live life in your way. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you do not miss any videos that we release. Now today we're talking about vibration. And we're talking about some things you can do specifically to raise your vibration if you find yourself in a lower vibe. Now, vibrations or what vibe you're in is very much going to be determined by what emotion or how currently you are feeling. If you notice you're in the emotion, for example, of guilt, shame, fear, anger, pride, jealousy, or these kinds of things, it means you're in a low vibration. High vibrations are ones such as happiness, such as joy, such as peace, such as abundance, such as gratitude, such as love. And so how can we take ourselves from those emotions of feeling shame and guilt and fear and raise ourselves to these higher vibrations? Well, luckily for you and for me and for really everyone, it's actually not that difficult. So I'm going to give you some of my favorite methods, some simple, some maybe a little, well, they're still simple, but you may have not heard of. I'm going to give you what I do when I find myself in a lower vibrational place, and within a few minutes, sometimes even quicker, I will start feeling better and better when I do these things. So the first one is very simple because it's probably one you've heard it before, so we want to get this out of the way first, but it's one of the most powerful that you can do, and it's meditation. You know, if you feel like you're in a very dense vibration, sometimes the last thing you want to do is meditate, but it also is exactly when you need to meditate, right? If you want to transcend or raise your vibration when you're in one of those places, a lot of times you need to meditate, be able to separate yourself from the emotion and allow something else in. Now, there's many different types of meditations you can do. You can do one like I just suggested, where you see yourself as separate from the thought or separate from the emotion and detached from it. There are ones you can do that specifically raise your vibration. You can do like ah and om meditations, which for me absolutely raise my vibration every single time I do them. No matter how I'm feeling, actually, if I do an ah or an om meditation where I'm repeating the mantra out loud, even doing the sound of that breaks up certain energy in my body. And every time I do that, I feel so much better afterwards, raising my vibration. So find a meditation technique that works for you, and then anytime you're feeling in these low places, do a 5, 10, 20-minute meditation if you have the time, but do something. And meditation is going to be one of the most useful tools that is going to help you raise your vibration. Next one I like to do, and this is probably the one I do the most often because it's so simple, and it's just to get into an attitude of gratitude. You know, when you are being grateful, it is impossible to feel in a low vibration or to feel and focus on things like fear and like, oh, I forgot to do this thing or what this person said to me, or anger or jealousy or whatever else. It is impossible when you are speaking out loud what you are grateful for. And so what I do throughout the day, in fact, I have a goal on a habit tracker I have of doing at least 3 gratitude sessions a day of at least 5 minutes each. So at bare minimum, I'm doing at least 3 5-minute gratitude sessions a day. But if I find myself in a fairly dense vibration, I'll go out around my property and I'll walk around sometimes, or just walk around the house. Sometimes I'll even go to the beach and I'll just start saying, thank you for things in my life. You know, thank you for the incredible life I get to live. Thank you for my hands. Thank you for my feet. Thank you for my heart. Thank you for the inspired ideas that come to me all the time. Thank you for the audience I have with HeartSpace and the wonderful heart-centered people I have here. Thank you for my channel in general. Thank you that I get to create content that inspires. Thank you that I'm healthy. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my friends. And I will just kind of go off and just flow with this level of thankfulness. And I guarantee if you do that for about 5 minutes, you are going to feel very different at the end than you did in the beginning. And so one of my favorite default practices when I'm feeling in a low vibration is this, because it's almost impossible if you actually do it and try your best. It's almost impossible to not raise your vibration when doing this practice, when having an attitude of gratitude. And that is one, especially for those of you who are kind of starting out with this, that I would recommend, because it's so simple and so easy, and it's really, you can't really mess it up. You just say thank you for this, thank you for that, you just keep going and you just flow with it. The next one that is key, and this is another one that you may not want to do when you're feeling in a low vibration, but it's just going to help you break up the energy and switch it and transmute it very quickly, and it's just getting up and moving. So many times when we feel in a dense state, a low vibration, it's very low and solid and slow, we want to sit down, we want to lie down and almost stew in our own poo, if you know what I mean, right? Bathe in our own crap. Because we're just there, we're feeling sorry for ourselves, we're victimizing ourselves, we're angry, and it's just kind of stewing in us. And one of the best ways to break that up is to literally stop sitting, stop lying down, get up, and just walk around or do some exercises, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups. If you have I have like kettlebells around the house, and I'll sometimes do some kettlebell swings. I have a walking pad, I'll just walk on the pad, or I'll do something similar, because I know that if I change the way my body is moving, I will change my emotional state. And so a great thing to do, for example, is go out for a walk. Go for a 5-10 minute walk or even longer. Just do some stretching, do some moving. But if you get your body moving in some way, it's going to go a long way to breaking up the very dense energy that comes with low vibrations and help encourage you to start raising your vibration. Now, I think one thing to pair together, two things to pair together, I should say, is the attitude of gratitude with walking. I find that if I really want to change my state, I really want to raise my vibration, that I combine the two. So I'm not sitting down and being grateful. I know if I move my body and also think from a place of gratitude by saying it out loud and focusing on that it will raise my vibration quickly. So again, what I'll do is go out on the property around the house I'm in, and I'll just walk around. I'll be among the trees and the birds, and I'll just start saying thank you while walking around. So now not only am I moving my body, but I'm also focusing on what I'm grateful for, which will help me vibrate on the frequency of gratitude. But getting up right away, as soon as you're starting to feel that low vibe, doing some push-ups. That's something I've been doing throughout the day as well. I try and make sure I do at least 100 push-ups throughout the day and spread it out, because I know that helps me keep my vibration and my energy up. And so you can do similar things, these little things that just when you're feeling like, okay, I'm going into a vibration, I don't really want, maybe it's an old story, an old pattern, whatever it is, but I don't really want to be here. What can I do to raise it? Getting up and moving in some way is a great tool that can help you start or be the catalyst to raise your vibration. Next one is one that I do actually all day right now, and it's listening to inspired content. Because you have to understand, your subconscious, your mind is picking up information in your environment 24/7. It's never stopping actually picking up information. And so what I like to do in order to influence my subconscious in a positive way, in positive emotions, is listen and have in the background positive affirmations or audio. So I'll listen to people like Alan Watts in the background. Right now I've been listening to a lot of Kevin Trudeau's stuff. And these things are either like principles like letting go and you're one with the universe, to things such as success principles. And why I play this is because at any moment, if I'm hooking into some thoughts, I can just get out of my head and start listening to whatever's happening in the background. Of course, my subconscious is listening to it the whole time, but if, for example, I have this audio on, I'm going around and I start thinking of something that's putting me in a low vibration, I snap myself out of it, start focusing on the audio, the inspired content, and then whatever they're saying usually is perfect for my situation, funnily enough, that I'm currently going through. But I'll listen to it and I'll become inspired, and I'll be back in those positive emotions, that positive momentum. And I found the more I play this during the day, the more it's influencing me and the more it's helping me stay at those higher levels of emotion. So one thing you can do, for example, if you come to my videos and they help uplift you and inspire you, if you're in a low, dense place, have favorite videos of mine that you can go back and watch. Not only is it going to help elevate your mood, your emotion, your vibration, but also repeating information like this is only going to help you to commit it to memory and actually be able to use it more effectively. Repetition is the mother of learning. Right? So it's kind of a double whammy there in a good way, where not only can you inspire yourself by being around an energy, hopefully my energy that's inspiring you, or whatever I'm saying is inspiring you, but you can also continue to learn. It doesn't have to be me, it could be anyone that inspires you and you like their content. But if you do that, instead of watching Netflix or browsing on YouTube or Instagram, keeping you at that low energy, go off to some inspired content uplifts you, motivates you, inspires you, and you'll see that your vibration will very quickly raise. Next is I'll go out into nature. Nothing will help me raise my vibration quicker than going out into nature. And some of these other things might at a very similar rate, but going out in nature. In fact, I combine the walking and my gratitude practice with nature as well, because out by my house, there's just birds and it's just nature sounds and there's trees and all these beautiful plants around the property. And so I'll be walking around this beautiful property out in nature, connecting to nature, going over my gratitude, and of course, moving my body. And if you can do the same, it's absolutely perfect. But sometimes I'll also just go to the beach up the road. In fact, I go to the beach every single day because it's just so stunning. It's just such an example of the beauty and majesty and perfection of nature. And I love to be able to go there every single day and admire it and give thanks for it. And so if you get out into nature, nature is vibrating at a certain level. It is always vibrating at a very, very high level. There's no place in nature, unless it's decaying and dying out of neglect, out of a pretty low vibration, where you're not going to get high vibrations from nature. If you get out into nature, if you go for a hike, if you do that and you are there in the present moment with nature, not in your head thinking of all these different things, but actually, observing nature and connecting to it and all this different stuff, you will notice your vibration going up and up and up. And you'll notice that a lot of people who tap into their hearts, a lot of people who are doing the spiritual work and are actually living this lifestyle, a lot of times they're out in nature. Why is that? Because it matches their vibration. There's so many people I follow and they're going on hikes in beautiful places all the time. They're out in nature every single day in some way. They've modified their homes to be in nature or bought homes in nature, and they're planting more things in their homes and they're bringing more nature into their homes. Why? Because it vibrates at the level they're vibrating at, which is a very high vibration. And so if you have a good plot of nature near you, you have a forest, you have a beach, you have whatever, if you're feeling bad, start getting out into that more. Become grounded in nature, connect with it, and you will raise your vibration, not only in that moment, but also just continually raise your vibrational set point. The next thing I like to do is called Qigong, or an energy practice. Every single day, again, I have it in a habit tracker, I will do a series of Qigong movements, which helps move energy through my body. And I have to tell you that it feels really, really good after I do these movements. And I'm trying to hook into the moment, just kind of tune into my body and move the energy doing these movements. I believe I do 4 or 5 different movements. It takes me about 10 minutes. It's not a very long routine. I can of course add more and do more, but I found that this seems to be a nice sweet spot for me. And so sometimes when I'm just not, especially when it comes to moving your body, it's a great one to put into that category. If I feel a little stagnant or dense, this is another great one to start moving that stagnant energy. I'm kind of like doing half of a Zen swing, which is the Qigong movement. But it's a great way to move that stagnant energy, get the energy flowing into your body, get your lymphatic system and your blood flow going, and it will elevate your mood. After every time I do a Qigong session, I just kind of stand there and breathe in. I end with conscious breathing, and I just feel so good. I feel so hooked into the moment. My vibration is very high. I've moved the energy, my body feels good, and I just feel great after doing it. And this is something you can look into. There are other energy practices you can look into. Again, this is just what I do, but I highly recommend looking at some Qigong movements, just finding 1 or 2 that you like, and you can just do at a moment's notice. And a lot of these you can just do at home. I have the beach, so I'll go there, which is a perfect combination to do it. But you can do it at home. You're sitting down and feeling a little dense, you can get up and do certain swings or certain movements of Qigong to move the energy, some soft movements, and you'll notice that you'll start to feel better. You'll start to feel more peaceful, which is also very high on the vibrational or the consciousness scale. So give that a try. It's another great little practice that can raise your vibration. And the last one I will use is just having a creative outlet. And for me, these videos are a creative outlet when I'm editing them or I'm creating posts for my business. So that's a good way to integrate creativity into my vocation. But sometimes I'll also draw. I have this big poster board here, and sometimes even with some videos, I'll draw on the pad and have kind of drawings I've done. I'll create things, I'll work with my hands in some way. But maybe for you, you play the guitar, or you play an instrument. Maybe you are an artist and you paint. Maybe you like to make pottery. It doesn't really matter what it is, but these creative outlets that also involve you using your hands. It could even be your writing. You love to journal, but when you add these things into your day, you have to be present with it. You're creative with it. It gets the creative juices flowing, and you have to be in a pretty high vibration for these things to be effective. You're not going to be able to paint too well if you're all up in your head, right? You're not going to be playing the guitar if you're not present with the guitar and feeling the music, so to speak, right? So by practicing these things, doing these things you already know you can hook into, For example, when some people play the guitar, they just hook right into the flow of playing the guitar. And they're not thinking about things, they're not, worrying, whatever. They're just in this flow state with the guitar, or when they're painting or whatever it is. So having some kind of creative outlet for yourself is a great way to raise your vibration. And another one that I really love, and is why I put on this list for myself. All right, guys, so that's what I do to raise my vibration. Now, there are many other practices you can do, and there are many things I do as well. These are just some of the main ones. But if any of these resonate with you, please take them on board and use them for yourself, and I can promise you, you will notice a difference. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really do appreciate it. As always, you are loved, and I will see you in the next video.